Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. It's the Que-stead show. Well, good evening everyone and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. I know I say it every time, so I'm not even gonna say it. If the video is short, then it'll be short. Slap me 5 if it is. If the video is a little longer, then hey, that's, y'all know me. Okay, well, all I really have to talk about today is a couple of things. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, but I cleared the second stack of crates from the back row so that, and then I put most of my vining plants. The only two I need to move back there are the loofah and the diva cucumber, because those are vining plants and I want the plants to be able to vine right up the poles. So I will be moving out the plants at the back that aren't vining, and that would be that thyme at the end there. And then I put the dead strawberries down there, so I'll move the dead strawberries out of there. And you know what, to tell you the truth, I think although I'm gonna leave the dead strawberries in the crate, I'm gonna move those 2 crates with the dead strawberries outside, because I really don't think they're gonna do anything. And if they do, they'll do it outside, and I'll keep an eye on them. I'm gonna just put them on the island to replace the other 3 crates that are there, so nothing can get to them. You know what, we got a helicopter that's been hovering, seems as if right over my greenhouse for the past 10 minutes. I know y'all can hear it, and I don't like it. So obviously they're either looking for a criminal or they might be looking for a missing person, because our city does have the helicopter brigade for both. Okay, so excuse the noise. Anyway, so when I moved the crates, I ended up getting 6 more here. So I still have the 8 outside. I have 3 right by the wagon. I have 3, which is 6 on the island out there. Oh, and I believe there's 3 more on the side of the house. I used that to hold that plastic down so the wind wouldn't blow it away until I can get some more rocks or some more fabric stakes to hold that down. So those crates will remain there until I can do that towards the end of the month. I will have some extra money. I did my budget today and I was like, ooh, thank you, Jesus. I can finish up what I need to do out here, and I can start saving for my itchy Cairo persimmon tree. Okay, but anyway, so last night, and oh, the first thing I wanted to talk about was I was so tired this morning. In fact, I slept most of the day, and I think I'm tanking on my vitamins. I don't know which ones, but I had 2 left because I was supposed to be getting new vitamins at the beginning of the month and totally forgot. Well, I took one of the 2 today in hopes that it will perk me up. I will definitely know by tomorrow, and it was the multivitamin. But I really need to stock up on everything. I have vitamin B12. Mine are dissolvable because of my ostomy. And then I take the chewable multivitamin. I also have the magnesium, and it's another one that I take. Those I have plenty of those. Oh, I also take vitamin D. My doctor had put me on 5,000 milligrams, and I found out the milligrammage could go up to 50,000 BTUs. Not milligrammage, BTUs. Okay, so the plan is, because my physical therapist back in the winter told me, he said 5,000 isn't enough, and even my doctor agreed when I told him I am still run down, because in the wintertime I really suffer. I have that seasonal affective disorder, and I'm always extra fatigued in the winter. It's just horrible, and it has been that way for the past 20 years. So the physical therapist told me, he said, go up to 50,000 BTUs, and my doctor okayed that. But the physical therapist said, talk to your doctor, which I plan to do because I need to make an appointment with him this week, actually. he said lots of times if your vitamin D is low, your vitamin K is low. And you know what? That came to me in a dream way before he had told me that. Something that said your vitamin K is low. I dreamt it or something. I can't remember. But when he said that, I kind of, looked at him in surprise because I remembered that dream, which was like a couple of years ago. So I'm definitely going to speak with my doctor about it. And he said you can get it mixed together, vitamin DK. So I'll probably do it anyway, but I'm still going to talk to my doctor because I'm very honest with him, especially with my health. I don't need any mishaps. So therefore, I always tell him whatever's, going on. So I'm going to ask him about that. And if he says it can't hurt, unless he tells me it can hurt me in some way, then I will not do it. But if he says it's okay and it would not hurt me, I'm definitely getting the vitamin D and K. I don't know if I want to mix it together or get one of each, 50,000 of the D and then however many thousands he suggests of the K. And I need to read up a little bit more on vitamin K too. And hopefully that will get me out of this slump that I'm in, because I normally don't suffer like this in the summer. So that's what lets me know that something is lacking in my body. With the ostomy, one of the main things that you have to balance is hydration and your vitamins, because my absorption isn't full like it was once. That's why it's so easy for me to lose weight. But you have to keep an eye on that. You can be normal one week and then tank the next. And I think I'm tanking. So it'll be, possibly, because I do have some extra money. It's my don't go money. I might, if I continue feeling like this, I'll probably go on and use the rest of the don't go money to at least get a couple of the vitamins, if nothing else, the multivitamin, and I might would get the K or the vitamin D. So those two I can afford to get now, and then when I get paid the following week, then I will get the rest. But that's first on the agenda before anything, even before the greenhouse stuff, because I have to be in shape to be able to deal with it, the greenhouse and the work that's needed, cutting the lawn and stuff before, so my priority is health. Okay, so I did not plan out my plants today because of, it's not that because I'm tired, but because it's cold today. It can't be no higher than about 45 out there. In fact, I'm just about shivering in the greenhouse. It is warm, but it's not what you would call totally comfortable. But I feel a chill in here, and I don't have on a coat or anything. But boy, if I was outside, I better have on a jacket. But anyway, the plants are doing good. I wanted to check on them. And another thing I wanted to do, and that's the second thing, and then I'm going to get off of here, was I decided, okay, it's time to watch the professionals. I've taken everybody's advice about the grapevines, but I said, let me pull up, well, actually, M.I. Gartner did a grapevine video on yesterday, and so that made me, after he talked about how to grow grapes successfully, he was just starting his. So I was like, let me go to another channel, see if they're saying the same thing that he said, and see how their grapes turned out. That's exactly what I did. And I forgot who I went to, but he was a grape expert. And so he said what M.I. Gartner said. Then I went to a third channel that was kind of short. It was 4 minutes long. And it was this lady who had a partner, a Hispanic man, who was a vineyard keeper. And so I was like, okay, I need to watch this and see what he says. He basically said the same thing, but he added a few more. Now, M.I. Gartner was talking about starting grapevines from scratch. So, that's good. And now I know how to start them from scratch. But and then the second one, he was established, but he talked about how you maintain and prune your grapevines. But this third one, the Hispanic guy, he talked about every aspect of the grapes in those little 4 minutes. And he said the most important thing you can do, which is what the other two said, is the grapes have to be able to get air in order to set fruit. And so the Hispanic guy said, what you do is you pull off. He said it hurts and you don't want, you don't like doing it. But he said, pull off your weakest new growth. So he was saying, look for your tendrils, which I have. He said, So the 3 weakest ones, even if they have tendrils, he said pull them off, because grapes take a lot of energy, which we know. Diana, you told me about that. And they all keep talking about sulfur. So they said when you fertilize your grapes, make sure that there's a sulfur content, because they are heavy sulfur feeders. And the one said they're heavy nitrogen feeders. See, and I had always been told not to give grapes a lot of nitrogen, because the first year I did that mess and I had leaves and it grew huge. I had to cut that thing to the nub at the end of the season. That was 2 years ago, right in my other greenhouse, and nothing. It did nothing other than grow big, huge leaves. And so I said, oh, this was too much nitrogen, but I still wasn't doing it correctly. So what I did, this one was already done, because they said always leave your wishbone. So the wishbone is there, and then it said to leave a vine coming up the middle. So that new growth that you see right there at the back of that one, that's my middle one, and it's a strong vine. Now I do need to, let me do this right now, because I just noticed that this part right here, what I'm picking off, that needs to go. They said everything else, pick off. Not everything, but they said most of it. So I just did that. So this one is perfect. That one is new, and it's not going to even get established until next year. So that, other than me fertilizing it, but next year I'll get it going once it comes back and begins to grow. This is, now the one thing that is bad about this one, I stuck 2 grapevines in this, but it grew some more stalks. So it looks like I have 4 grapevines in there, but actually all this is part of one, and then this is the second one. So this second one is okay. It doesn't even have a middle stalk. So I'm gonna leave it in the wishbone. So that's basically establishing itself, but it's growing pretty good. And then this one, this is the one I took everything off of. I left the wishbone here, and there's nothing coming from that. So I was like, okay, this one is wishbone. So I left that, and then I kept the middle. I did 2 in the middle right here on this one. And then I pulled off the rest. I pulled off everything, because they said the reason why you're doing that is that to give the grapes more energy, and to give the airflow. Those are the 2 things that grapes need the most. So in a week, I may go and get some sulfur, because it's still not too late for me to get grapes. But I'm just beating the buzzer, because now in the South, where all these people are, their grapes have already set fruit. But I'm in the North, and these things just woke up. So therefore, I still have a little bit of time for it to set fruit. So I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen in the next few weeks here. If it does nothing, fine. I know I did this the right way. And like I said, I'll go on and stick some sulfur in there and see what happens. But they're all getting the airflow that they need, every last one of them. And so, of course, me being Miss Experimental. Oh, and these are the plants that I moved, down. So like I said, I have to do some rearranging, and I'll do that once I feel my strength and energy begin to return. I'm just not doing it today. Oh, and I left all the grapes double crated, because this one, because they said the one thing you need to do immediately is start training it up a trellis wherever it's going to be established. So that one can train up the wall there and the poles. This one, it's going to really take off. So I hung this trellis, my 50-cent Value World trellis there. I hung that there, and I'm gonna start, once it gets tall enough, I'm gonna start training it up this trellis here, and then that back one right there, if it grows out, it can start training up the back over there. I can guarantee you this thing is going to eventually take off, and it's gonna be a lot of trellising up in here. So we'll see how it works, and I'll just keep training it right along the ends, wherever it reaches, I'll do that. But now to the experiment. And see, I did end up going almost 15 minutes. Okay, so Miss Experimental, I could not bear to throw away these vines, especially the ones with the tendrils on them. So I put them in a cup of water. Let's see if I get some roots. If I get some roots, y'all, then guess what? those will go out against the fence somewhere. I'll just start a grapevine back, in the backyard. I'm not going to really care much about them, but I just didn't want them to go to waste. I like to reuse and repurpose. And Renee, I want to thank you right now. I'm going to comment on your video, girl. That breadcrumb recipe that you did, woo wee, girl. I'm doing that. In fact, I have a brand new processor. I have a brand new meat grinder that I purchased close to a year ago. I think October will be a year. I purchased it from Best Buy on credit, and it will be paid off on the 3rd of next month. I've never used it. You know what? I'm the type, and I'm weird, I know. But I'm the type, until I have paid something off, with the exception of a car or a house or something big, that unless you have cash, it ain't getting paid off in your lifetime, more than likely. But for little stuff like that, whenever I charge something, I don't like to use it until I've paid it off, if it's under $1,000. Let's put it that way. And so both items were on sale. In fact, I didn't pay that much for them, but I got quite a few things. And I chose not to use them because I want it paid for before I do. That's so crazy. But anyway, I'm getting ready to start making my own butter with the food processor. And the first order of business is making those breadcrumbs that you talked about, the plain and the Italian, because I thought, wow, I can use those breadcrumbs for what you use them for chicken, for fish. I can dip my fish in there instead of buying the batter and whatnot, or I can mix the two together and just add like an extra flavor profile to my fish and stuff on the grill. All the possibilities. I never thought about the breadcrumbs, never. But guess what? So thank you for sharing that video. Thank you so much. It was very helpful to me. Okay, so we're at 17 minutes, so I'm going to end it here. And I thank you guys for watching and tuning in every day. I thank you for coming back, commenting, and letting me know your suggestions and whatnot. Oh, and Renee and Diana, here are your seeds. I got them. I'm not even going to use any of these. So they're in here. That's what Emily packed them in. So I'm going to be getting, they sell these at the DT store, oops, I almost said it. The DT store. I'm going to go and buy some more of these. And yeah, my nails are filthy because I've been fooling with this dirt and soil. I'm going to go get some more of those. And I will be splitting up your seeds and getting them to you ASAP. So you won't be able to plant them this summer, but y'all can throw them in the ground next summer, unless you decide to do it. I don't know. It's not going to be that long before I send them, but it's going to take me a minute to be able to get those container things. Okay, so I will talk to you all later, and may God bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend, and pray for the grapevine experiment, y'all. Because if it works, then I'm going to be planting it maybe against that back fence over there. It'll just be somewhere. Yep, just to know I have grapevines growing on the property, in the ground, so that the next person that comes will see that, and the asparagus, that type of thing. So we'll see how that works. Okay, I'm off of here because it's cold and it's after 8, so I need to get in the house. And it rained today, just like they said. It rained all last night. It rained this morning. So it's been just cloudy and cold today. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, so I will be back at the grill. And what else? And then it's supposed to rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So it seems like we're getting April showers in May. But eventually, we'll go straight into summer. Once it starts heating up right around Memorial Day, it will be no looking back. And we'll be praying for rain at that point. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.